Hey, it's Nina.
And Ashley back with the bullshit.
And this is the Young and Getting It podcast. We back in California, even though we're going to be back in Brooklyn next week. But just so you guys know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, leave a review. You can find us on soundcloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. Follow and leave a comment. You can also find us on YouTube. Search Young and Getting It podcast. We have our live videos up on there, and listen to a Breakfast Club style. And we also have Google Play, Stitcher, and Pocket Cast.
You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter, both under the same username at YAGI_podcast. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/YAGIPOD/. And you can also find us on our website, www.weareyagip.com. On there, you can find pictures, you can find our episodes, you can find out about me and Nina. Mm-hmm. You can also find links to all our other social media handles, as niggas is calling it now. Like, I feel hip. Like, okay, I finally got it.
Find our handle.
What's your handle, bro?
Oh my God. And you guys can also email us through our website too.
Yeah.
So it's super cool.
Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com.
Yeah. You know what I was noticing from our two first New York episodes? Our first one was in New Jersey. The second one was in New York. And the one that you guys will hear next week is in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. I noticed that, I forgot what it's called, but there's like a lag in people's voice. You know those white girls that talk like, I noticed I was lagging a little bit. And I was
we're from California. Yeah, I feel like we can't help it.
It might be some Cali shit, but I was like, I might just be like high or something.
That and tiredness, I feel like, plays into that shit. Like,
we were super tired.
I could sound like a Kardashian sometimes, unfortunately.
Right. And so I know, right? The Kardashian, the Valley girl.
Unfortunately.
I'm going to try to talk like more clear, like I'm more like, so blah, blah, blah. So when I was listening to the episodes, I was like, you could talk a little clearer. You don't need to change the way you talk, but you don't need to sound like you're like about to fall asleep in 2 seconds.
I don't need to sound like I'm yoga zen all the time.
I know, right? So it's like we're learning something, especially through other people's podcasts, because they edited those episodes. Mm-hmm. So that was not.
I was surprised I didn't get cut out more. Thanks. Shout out to y'all.
I know.
Appreciate it.
The Podcast Brothers, that was the first week in March, and then Vital Information.
That was our previous one.
Yeah, our most recent one. So thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
New York was very interesting. So, as you guys may have heard us in the past say, Ashley's about to start school next month. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Hell no. Like, what the fuck? No, I'm not ready.
It's like, because I just sat for a second and I was like, the only reason I'm quote unquote comfortable doing what I'm doing is because I've been doing it. But I'm like, when I sit back and actually look at what I'm doing, I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I would think you should do a lot more yoga before school starts.
Bitch, I don't even have time to do yoga now. And it's mainly because my work schedule. So I told myself that I am quitting. I just don't know when I'm going to quit.
Yeah, because you got into that good
but I mean, honestly, like, fuck it. Like, at this point, because I was mentioning to you how my manager was basically telling me on days that I am not scheduled to fucking work, I shouldn't be doing personal tasks. Like,
that is...
So, bitch, when the fuck am I, like, when am I supposed to do it?
Her manager got mad at her for getting her car serviced on her day off.
Mind you, my check engine light was on, and I guess she thought I was fucking lying. Like, that shit came on Monday.
Mind you, she wasn't on call. That's a huge part.
On call at all.
You're not on call. You're not scheduled to work.
My case canceled. Like, I have no fucking control of that.
So you're off, and then you go to get your maintenance, which is
like, so, because my car is very vital to my job, y'all. I drive to several different hospitals during the week, and like, my check engine light came on my way to a hospital on Monday, and so I had to pull off the freeway and go to AutoZone because I needed coolant. Apparently, like, I don't know about this shit.
Yeah,
and I know coolant is important. Like, I'm not trying to fry my transmission because my job don't pay for, like, they don't give us a vehicle allowance. All they do is give us mileage, gas, right? That gas mileage does not pay for all the maintenance I have been doing on my fuking car for this fucking job. So I was pissed. Like, I'm like, so when am I supposed to do it? Like, I told her, I was like, I could see if I could push the appointment back. And I was like, what time should I shoot for? She was like, anytime after 3 p.m. What fucking business is gonna take your shit like
last minute?
Yeah,
you have to make an appointment. Clearly, you can't.
I had an appointment. So look, I changed my appointment 2 times this week because of this fucking job and its unexpected schedule. So on Wednesday, I had my vehicle appointment set up, and I had to change it because somebody complained and said that their caseload was crazy and they didn't want to work tomorrow at 7 p.m. So I had to change my schedule at 7 p.m. Damn. And I was already out and out my house going to a birthday dinner. Shout out David. And so I had to go from Riverside back home, get my work equipment, and then go to Rashad's house. Because I was like, on days that I don't work, I go to Rashad's house because it's like I finally have time to see you. Like, yeah. And so I didn't have time to see him because I had to like go to sleep. Like I literally like had to go to the birthday dinner, go get my shit, and then go to sleep so I could go to work.
Damn.
Yeah.
So wait, so you might not even stay until your whatever internship trip.
Yeah, no. Because I told myself I might quit for a birthday gift to myself. I feel like that's a really great birthday gift. And my last vacation that I've had requested off so far is at the end of June. Like, so it's like I could fucking leave at June and like not feel bad at all.
Did you tell them your schedule is going to change when school starts? Because school starts next month. Though.
Yeah. I told her about it. I was like, right now, I don't know, like, because it's an online class. You do it at your own pace. Right. I was like, I don't know what it's going to be like. I was like, but if I do need modifications or if I do need something or if something's going to change, I was like, you guys will know about it. Because she had to have a meeting with me, like, to talk about the raises that they gave out.
Yeah, they gave you a good raise and then you're going to leave right after it.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it's not worth it.
Yeah, no.
Like it's really not worth the stress. Like I literally almost cried like 2 times this past week. 2 times. That's why I was being hella short in text messages. I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't like checking on social media or nothing because I was just like, I'm over it. Because like that's not the only like stress I'm dealing with. Like work is just like one compartment of the stress. So I was like, yeah, I just need like a few minutes to myself, maybe this whole week. Because a bitch might lose it. Yeah. Like I was so close to like going off on her when she told me not to do personal shit on my day off. And I was like, you know what? I was just telling my boyfriend, don't give people the reaction they expect to get from you because that shit eats them alive. Because they'll feel bad. Like, oh, damn, I talked to you crazy and you didn't react at all. Like, I'm a crazy psycho bitch. And then it's like, yeah, you know, you might be because I'm chilling.
Dang. I'm like, the only reason I'm sad is because I'm like, damn, I might not go to Jamaica.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can kind of
I could go to Jamaica another time. I mean,
yeah.
It just the flight won't be free.
Yeah. That's the only downfall. But I was like, we're doing a lot financially.
Yeah. I'm poor. Every time I get a check, I'm poor.
Mind you, Ashley just bought like the brand new Mac and my computer started giving me shit. So I literally an hour before taping this episode bought the brand new Mac. So me and her have the same computer sitting next to each other.
And the same amount of debt from the same computer.
Nah, Ashley has more gigabytes, so she's a little bit more in debt.
You didn't get the same one.
Nah, because I was like, I'm gonna put everything on my hard drive. Fuck all the dot.
I know, but
nah. It was already
it helps it run faster.
It was she was saying the speed is the same. She was like,
they all say that until you start putting like if you save a bunch of shit on your computer, your shit's gonna slow the fuck down. Yeah, like, that's just the laws.
That's what she was telling me too. She was like, oh, if you're gonna use Logic, like, and I was like, no, girl, I'm gonna put it on my hard drive and delete it off my computer. Like, I'm not keeping it.
Wait, you're going to put Logic on your hard drive?
No, like, she said Logic.
Like the files?
Yeah, she said Logic files.
Yeah, none of that shit saved on here.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, she was like, Logic is the only thing that will slow down your computer. But I was like, no, I'm not going to keep it on there.
Oh, yeah,
I just need to get the adapter.
I don't keep this shit on my computer.
Apple's a fucking dick. It makes you get an adapter for fucking everything.
Monopolizing the game.
They're fucking assholes, you know. But it's okay because, like, we're on the verge. We're a couple years away from being rich. So, I'm just going to let this go.
I was thinking about it. I was like, by the time I'm 28, I'm gonna be okay.
I'm gonna be balling.
I'm gonna be alright.
Yeah, everyone tells me after I get my chartered financial analyst licenses, like people will be like, once you get your first license, people are on you. But I plan on staying in my job if my job keeps me and getting all 3.
I noticed the switch up too. Like when I got my CNM, my certified neurophysiologist bullshit, whatever the fuck, because I don't care about this profession no more. When I got that shit, hella people started hitting me up on LinkedIn.
Really?
Like hella other companies. And I was like, yeah, like I'm not interested because I don't want to do this ever again. Like this is my first and last time doing this shit.
Yeah. You know, I just had an epiphany this week, even though it should have been way earlier. I'm like, I really like LinkedIn because like I just had it because it was like, well, one, it was a class assignment, but I already had a LinkedIn. My last job, my boss was like, you don't have a LinkedIn, I need you to make one. Like, and he's legit.
It's important.
Yeah. So he was one of the recommendations for the job I had now. So it's like, I listened to him, and like he even went on my LinkedIn and was like, oh, change this part because this part is different.
I looked
here,
at yours to model mine. So
yeah.
Because I remember you telling me that he helped you. I was like, well, let me get some info.
Yeah. Because that first line, you see how I have like cancer, finance, He said those are the keywords. That's why when people search it, those pop up. So he said put all your keywords in that top part. Okay. That's why my shit says finance. Yeah. So I'm gonna put like chartered financial analyst and shit like that in there. Just
I'm gonna start getting my resume together because it's like by June I'll have the prerequisite classes that I wanted to have before I started applying for computer science jobs. So it's like I'm just between a rock and a hard place. But my Lyft driver, shout out to her on Friday when I had to like Uber back to my car because nobody was home. That's a whole nother stress. She was telling me like, she was like, yeah, just pray on it, and she was like, just make the best move for you. Like if you're not happy, go ahead and quit. Because she was like, I used to be in healthcare for 30 years, and she was like, the reason I left is because my company got bought out. Like my company got bought out. Yep. And just she like realized my company got bought out. Exactly. Everybody gets bought out. She was like, I realized that they weren't focusing on the patient anymore. Like it wasn't healthcare. They weren't here for the patient. Yes, it was more about money. And I was like, that's what I'm noticing too. And I don't like that shit. And because they put us in situations where it's like, it's not even safe for me to be taking care of a patient right now. And you damn sure don't pay me enough for that, even with the raise you just gave me. Like, you don't pay me enough for that.
Yeah, healthcare is a business. Just like on, what was that movie? The movie we talked about a couple episodes ago, where that guy was talking about you need to be vegan.
What the hell?
Yeah, because one girl was like, sorry, we can't let you in the hospital. As you should know, hospitals is a business. And I was like, oh, you just said it.
The fuck is.
It is. Like, it's profit maximization.
On Friday, there's a difference between hospitals. Like, one hospital I work at is cheap as fuck. There's other hospital I worked at in Newport. So, look, there's a Riverside Hospital, there's Newport Hospital. Newport Hospital, they had a fucking microscope with a 3D screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like you put glasses. Oh shit, you put glasses on to watch the 3D screen.
That's intense.
I saw a superficial temporal artery bypass to the middle cerebral artery.
Let people know what that is.
Okay, so a bypass is just where they take like one artery and sew it onto another artery because that artery that they sew it onto is not functioning the way that it should be. Yeah, it basically needs life support. So they take one artery and then they just sew it onto another one.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I see people do that with the lip to nose. I forget what it is. I think nose jobs.
I thought you were talking about the cleft lip, like the cleft palate.
No, it's like, I think if you get a nose job, but you get a real crazy nose job that you fuck up your life support, they actually take a piece of your lip and connect it to your nose and they connect it for like 2 weeks, and you literally just have this shit, and then 2 weeks after that they just surgically remove it.
The blood flow. It's for the blood flow.
Yeah, it's blood flow. Yeah, because it starts like necrosis and shit like that. Necrosis is skin dying or death of cells.
Something's dying.
I think it's death of cells.
I know that's what apoptosis is.
That's apoptosis, when the cell kills itself. Okay, you guys look up necrosis. Whatever.
Cell suicide.
Yeah, they just kill self. Yeah. But yeah, so I brought that up because I was just like, damn, you're about to start school, and I'm like, my master's program is so fucking like, I wish I was those Chinese students that didn't have a fucking job, my nigga.
Yeah.
Because oh my God, like, it's funny because we're a podcast about like success and working hard and working, and
but I'm like, sometimes it's like, fuck it.
We're both like, nigga, I don't want a job anymore.
Because it's just like the stress that comes with it. Like, you're really stressed out to make somebody else $1 billion.
Okay.
I don't fucking live for that shit.
I want to be a shareholder. Like, I was driving down Venice yesterday and there was a plot where you could tell there was a house there, and they just tore it down. So all the houses by it were just shitty houses. Yeah. And they built a fancy ass house. And I was like, that's so smart, because the house you bought was probably like maybe right under 200,000 because it's Venice.
I don't know.
It might.
It's in Venice, it could still be a mil. Like you could still pay a mil for a shitty house. Because it's all about like in Venice. It's all about location.
Yeah, and like so they tore it down and then built a house. But I was like, imagine how much they're gonna sell that house for. It's like, oh, the profit, but I need the capital.
Exactly.
I need the capital.
Can somebody give me a small loan of $1 million?
I need an angel investor.
A small loan.
You know the order is like banks,
Drake.
then like small middle companies, and then like ABLs, asset-based loans, and then
I don't know about
something
this,
else, and then angel investors. Angel investors invest the most in small businesses, you know, so it's just like, that order.
What is the reasoning? Like why?
Because they have more capital, and I think because they're more private. Oh, there's private equity groups. That's right before angel investors. So private equity. So if you want money, from what I learned in I wish I knew the names of my classes, but I don't fucking know.
It's a class.
Yeah,
you take
it's a class.
To get it over with.
It's a 2-unit class.
Let's be honest.
They're saying the people that invest the most in a small business are angel investors and private equity groups, and then asset-based loans, which means if you don't pay them back, they will take your shit.
Take your shit, yeah.
They'll take your shit.
Repossession.
And you wrote it on a paper saying, this is my shit that I have.
I cannot do that. Because you're not going to come in my house and take my bed.
And it's because you told them, like, hey, I have
hey,
this much,
okay.
I have this inventory. Go ahead and run that. Yeah, which is crazy. But
but like, I ain't got your money on the 15th, but I got it for you on the 30th. Nah, nigga, we taking your bed.
I'm gonna take your shit.
Man,
they're taking a lot of shit, man. They'll take your car. I would never want to get repossessed, man.
Me either. That must be like I've gotten my car towed before, so like to have your shit repossessed, it does. You feel empty. Like you go to put your key in that bitch and it's gone.
Oh, that shit is just gone.
And that's when you gotta make that phone call, like, mom, like, because this used to be when the car wasn't in my name, so I couldn't get it back. Like you have to be the registered.
Oh, you got
owner.
it towed like because it was in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they towed my shit.
Oh, I thought you meant towed as in like it broke down.
Oh no!
Damn.
No, so I had to pay.
I parked wild in Venice yesterday, and I was like, I'm gonna be gone real quick. So obviously it didn't get towed, but I was like, wow, if they took my car,
you would be sad.
All I told myself was like, if they take it, drop the fucking 500. Say fuck it, because it's about 500. Oh, it's Venice, so it might be
and
more.
It's by night too, so like if you don't pick it up that night, it's gonna be 15 the next day.
Oof.
Like, well, 1,000 the next day.
God bless. God bless. But yeah, so I'll pray for you when it comes to school.
Yeah, I was already talking about taking a leave of absence.
You should. I've been trying to push Ashley for so long, like, do not work when you start.
I mean,
just leave when you start. Like, just take a month off when you start.
Yeah, but it's still gonna have to be in June. It can't be when I start, because when I start, I already have 2 vacations planned a month until June.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We are doing a lot. Okay. Oh, I wanted to do a quick shout out. Did you see that King Vader, if you guys remember
that new video?
He had a Netflix ad. This nigga got a paid partnership with Netflix. He was on episode 5. Go check him out. He's almost at 1 million followers. Okay. Shout out to King fucking Vader.
That is dope as hell.
Like, I commented under, I was like, I said something like, nigga, you made it. Like, because he got an ad with Netflix. Yeah. I'm like, if you have the contact information from someone at Netflix, you have begun. Like, you have ascended.
Because next, I feel like next, that's funny because I posted that one on my Instagram. I specifically went home and was like, yo, I'm about to make this soundbite for myself. I was like, I need this. Like, I went home and made that one. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, check out my Instagram page, sitting_lotus, and it's a clip from our last episode of Vital Information.
Yes.
Bitch, I've ascended.
Like, that shit is funny. King Vader, shout the fuck out to you.
Yeah, shout out to you, bro.
I see you, Official Taz, doing your interviews.
Right.
I see y'all out there, grinding. Always support. We'll see y'all soon.
Yo. One of the few that weren't.
It's so fun. It's, it's really funny. It's because, remember I told you I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about how, like, almost everyone they've had on the show except for a select few they've never heard from again.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's what happens.
It's
like,
fine.
we've been kind of fortunate. I'm trying to think back. We're still cool with majority.
Yeah, majority of the people we're still cool with, but it's just like,
one person was weird, so we just had to stop that. But
2 people were weird.
But we're still cool with one of them.
Yeah, you right.
Because I know the other one you're talking about.
Right.
But yeah, that's something that happens. So you can't depend on other people to like build your fame.
Please don't depend on people. People flaky as fuck. They're lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
and we assumed that from the jump, and so we didn't get into shock. We were just like, man. We really have just been like meh.
And when you encounter those people, it proves to you why they're not as successful as they could be. Because you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
That is very true. Because it means a lot to respond to a fucking email.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't really have too much to say about the Miami spring break hoes because they've just been trending on
that
Twitter.
Shit's wild.
But I posted on Twitter. I was like, most of the Miami hoes are single. Like, you guys, the way they're captioning everything is like, oh, your girl is out here. Nah. I'm like, nah, a few bitches are cheating all across the United States.
Any day of the week.
Anywhere, any day.
Just spring break.
Any nigga. Like, most of these bitches are single, but that video of the girl fucking in the elevator, like, I felt bad for her because she had to be drunk.
I mean, I don't know how bad I felt for her because
she had to be drunk.
How drunk do you have to be? Though?
You're in an elevator full of people recording you getting fucked with no condom.
Exactly.
She was like, I don't
know. Maybe she was just living her best life. Like, maybe that's how that bitch lived. Like,
well,
I mean, some people live like that.
We did know somebody like that too.
Some people live like that.
I really hope not. That was fucked up. But yeah, I was
hope
just like,
not too, but it's possible.
Yeah, like some people, people have been trending just off of being a hoe in Miami spring break. First of all, I would never go because I'm not 2 years old. As in 2 years old, I mean I'm not 21. Yeah. Like, I'm not a little kid. You know, like I can't. Because
I would go and be annoyed.
I would be annoyed, and all these little boys with them shirts. You know them, all them niggas with their shirt off, with a chain on,
frat boys.
with the basketball shorts on.
Like, all right, well, you spent your last savings to get here.
Yeah, like, this is the thing, and
That's
this is
tight.
When people are younger, they just dated off of like, oh, he's cute and our conversation is good. Like, I'm way too picky for that. Like, and that's the same thing with spring break. It's like, you could look real cute and have like a nice basketball short on. I don't know what the fuck they're wearing out there, but I'm still gonna ask you about your life, you know. Like, and then when I find out you ain't shit, like, that's why I had to delete dating apps, because I realized like dating apps is just like the leftovers. There's no cream of the crop, doesn't have any business being on there.
Yeah, no.
So it was just like, it was a whole bunch of niggas with like no job, no car, no how you don't got a job
money. But you dating?
Why you ain't got no job, no car, but you dating? Why you have no money but you're dating?
For real, mom.
Like,
for real, mom.
Yeah, her mom's calling.
Mom, I gotta talk to you later, mom.
Mute that. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's why I had to delete the dating apps, and I was like, I'm actually just gonna like wait for something real.
I mean, I feel like you should. Yeah, that's how the best relationships happen.
But the thing is, technology is taking over so much that it's minimizing like our ability to meet.
Face.
Yeah, it is minimizing face to face. On top of it, I think I have social anxiety, so I don't go out much either. But
you definitely do, because all the stuff you be asking me to do, I'm like, Nina.
Do I go out?
No.
I mean, we travel.
No, like if it's like handling something, like, yeah, could you do this? I'm like, Nina, just do it.
I have homework. The only time I ask you is when I'm like literally studying. Like, we were talking about something and I couldn't text long because I had a project due the next morning.
No, yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, and like, I didn't even finish the project. I kind of just bullshitted the equations because this nigga's not gonna go through like the immense amount of equations we had to do. He's not
got a TA?
No.
Oh, okay.
And
he's not gonna do it.
He's a lonely ass weirdo ass nigga. Like, he's like, oh my god, this teacher will be like, oh, you're about to eat. What are you about to eat? And I'm like, I'm asking about number 2. Don't ask me what I'm eating. He's like, oh, he's so gross. Me and my classmate were talking about, we think he has a food addiction because that's all he talks about when you're on the phone with him. He's one of them niggas who has that nasty stomach and he looks gross, like facially. He doesn't have a ring. So I'm like, I don't know if your wife died or you just never got it.
Okay.
But like, nigga, he'll be like, oh, he's so gross. I'll be like, I have to get off the phone because I need to go get breakfast before I go to class. And he'll be like, oh, what do you eat? And I'm like, just eggs and egg whites. Like, that's just it, you know. I just mix those two. And he was like, oh yeah, for breakfast I had a Twix. This nigga had a fucking like Twix bar.
I mean, he's an adult. He
and
can
like
make his own decisions.
And like a soda for breakfast.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Like, he has. And then when I was on the phone with him asking questions another day, first of all, if you're falling asleep on the phone, let me know. So he's falling asleep, and as he's falling asleep, all he's mumbling is like fried chicken, pot, and hot dog.
No, bitch.
And I didn't know he was falling asleep at first, so I was like, I don't know what you're saying, and I don't know what you're talking about. But on number 2, and he starts talking, and a little bit later, he's all like, on the cheeseburger and the chicken. And
no, bitch, no, he didn't.
This nigga has a food addiction.
No, he didn't.
He's fucking disgusting. And then he says shit in class that can get him fired. In class this week, he was all like, oh, no one knows the answer. Mind you, no one raises their hand in the class. No one answers questions. We have no idea what the fuck this guy's talking about. And thank God they switched me out of his class for next semester because I could not do it again. And he asked some questions. He was like, well, if no one answers the questions, I'm gonna go back to China and kill all your family and everyone you love. And everyone's just like, and I turned to the other.
I would have gone to your school's fucking HR or wherever the fuck you need to go.
I don't care about this school anymore. I don't care.
What?
There's a lot of things I could have complained about, and I just give up. I turned around to the only other white American in this class, the white boy, and I looked back and I was like, he can get fired for saying this. And he like smiled at me like, yeah, what the fuck? Like, because he said it again. And then my classmate, when I told her, because she's from China, so I told her, I said, he can get fired for saying this, right? And she was like, really? And I was like, yes. Yeah. We're in America. You can't say stuff like that.
That's a threat, basically.
As a teacher, you cannot say that. Plus people have been getting shot in schools like last week. So you can't say, I'm going to kill your whole family and everyone you love. So then she pulls out her phone and like gets to the recording and starts recording, but he doesn't say it again after that point.
But I mean, she has witnesses.
Yeah, there's 28 the whole class. But it's like these Chinese students, like this actually ties into my other subject, so I might as well just go on. These Chinese students, like they're different because they're raised different. But I'm just like, they don't even seem like the type that if something went down, like they would back anyone up. Like, they don't seem like it. Their whole culture is really different. And the same girl that I'm talking about, I was telling Ashley this before we started recording, I never saw her car, but we were walking to our car. She gets in a Mercedes, and I'm noticing all my classmates have Mercedes, but I'm like, you guys just got here from China. So you guys moved here and a week later bought a Mercedes Benz, or leased.
Probably leased.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah, but
there's probably like probably like a few that bought it, because some of them are only children. And in China, you're only allowed to have 1 to 2 children. After that, you have to pay $10,000 a kid, or even after the third kid, it's more than $10,000. But if
probably double that bitch. Like, oh, you want to not listen a second time?
Right. But if your parents work in the government, you get like 1 free kid or something, or 2 free kids.
How do you get free kids?
It's
all
like
kids
fucking
are free
ridiculous
until they start having bills. Like,
some people, they said, like one girl, she has like 3 in her family, and she said that her parents put aside the $10,000 way ahead of time because they're like, we want more kids. So they just went ahead and put $10,000 to the side because they knew they were gonna get fined. They get a ticket. You get a ticket for delivering.
Jesus,
that's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so
way to welcome a baby.
In their culture, mind you, a lot of these people just graduated undergrad and went straight to masters. Like, I've been out of school for 2 years and now I'm starting my master's. And I asked her, I said, are you guys rich? Like, and she was like, I guess so. Like, she was really confused, but that's how she answered. She was like, I guess so. Because I was like, none of you guys have a job. I was like, none of you guys have a job, but you guys have Mercedes Benzes and you guys are walking around with Gucci bags. And like I told Ashley on Friday, I saw a bitch with Balenciaga shoes. And I'm like, none of you guys have a fucking job. And she was like, yeah, it's just our culture. Our parents like send us money. And I was like, so your parents just send you money? And I was
don't
like,
ask like, oh, what you need money for?
Yeah,
send you money.
Yeah, and I was like, do you ask? I forgot what she said when I said, do you ask? But even when she responded, I was like, what? Their parents just send them money. And I think because they think America's more expensive than it really is, probably because their kids are going out and buying, like, this bitch came 2 days in a row with 2 different Michael Kors watches that were nice as shit. One was a fucking digital one. It was nice.
Oh, those are like those smart watches they have.
Yeah, it was actually real cute. But she was like, I don't like it because you have to charge it. But I'm like, these kids are wearing like Gucci down, like this bitch came with all Puma on, and I was just like, I was like, if you guys aren't spoiled, I guess that's all that really matters. Yeah. And last semester, her rent was like, this bitch was paying like $3,000 or something for a room in Santa Monica.
A room?
Yeah. Because we were talking about it in our finance class.
A room?
And she was like, yeah, she was paying like $3,000 for a space. And I'm sure she had the master, but still. Yeah, when we talked about it in class, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna move out. But then she's taking pictures in her new place, and I'm like, that place looks nice as
it's
fuck.
Probably just as expensive.
And she looks like she's still in Santa Monica too, and I'm like, wow. Santa Monica is very expensive. Like they had a whole like rental issue out there because the rent is like ridiculous. You know, it was in our textbooks about Santa Monica.
Yeah,
like because they're
California just needs to get it the fuck together.
They need. Oh, I heard on like Breakfast Club or something. It was like DJ Khaled and Nas, somebody like black famous people bought the first black owned hotel in Santa Monica.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, I'll look it up. But yeah, do you have any other topics you want to talk about?
Let me see.
I'm gonna look up what the title of this hotel is called.
Oh, well, mine's just like, it relates to my week because I had to call 2 different forms of customer service, and both times these people didn't know what the fuck they was talking about. And so I wasted my fucking time. Like, I was on the phone for like 30 minutes one day just trying to add my email so that I could get e-receipts for my health insurance instead of getting the paper ones. Mm-hmm. So I called the lady and she's like, oh yeah, no, Kaiser doesn't do that. You have to call Cover California. So I called Cover California, and Cover California's like, no, Kaiser does that.
I hate customer service.
I'm just like, why the fuck do you have a job if you don't know how to do it? And then earlier in the week, I was talking to this guy and he wasn't understanding what I was saying because he's not American. And so he was like, I asked him, I was like, oh yeah, like I was asking him this question. He couldn't answer it. And so he was like, hold on, let me put you on hold so I could talk to my supervisor. And I was like, well, can I just talk to your supervisor? And he's like, no, you can't. Nigga, what?
The fuck? Yes, I can.
Nigga, what? How you gonna tell me I can't talk to your supervisor? Like,
That's crazy.
You can't answer my question and you're having to get off the phone to talk to her anyway, I might as well speak with your supervisor directly, right? So that we can avoid this whole having you to repeat shit, because you clearly wasn't getting it and I talked to you for like 20 minutes. And so, like, after I get back off hold, it's his supervisor, and this bitch didn't even know what I was talking about. And I was just like, okay. So some people, I just feel like some people are really just too stupid to have a job. And I know it sounds very classist and very mean, but...
Well, training is like poor.
And it's integral. Like, they even changed training for my job. And I'm like, so y'all dumbing this shit down. Mm-hmm. And it's patient care. And that's going to affect us. But I mean, I'm not the CEO, so I can't tell y'all how to run your shit. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to collect my check until it's time for me to leave, because I'm done giving advice and trying to help fix things, because it's just a waste of my energy for somebody else to be a $1 billion company and then like y'all half-ass pay me.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yep.
BTW.
BTW.
The hotel, it's Nipsey Hussle and DJ Khaled.
Nipsey's smart as shit.
Yeah, I need to listen to his episode on Breakfast Club, because Charlamagne was saying he's a very woke
No, he is. Like, this nigga, like, I finally started listening to his newest album, and he is a conscious rapper. I didn't know this. Like, this nigga, like, he for real be talking about shit that's like relevant. He talks about shit that's smart, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, like, I was really like stereotyping him for the longest time, and I
sounds and looks hood as fuck.
He looks like a hood nigga that does grimy shit all day.
And his song, I like bitches that's light skinned. Like, damn.
Say I like bitches that like bitches. Something like
no,
that.
he said I like bitches that's light skinned.
Oh, okay. I mean,
he said that, and I was just like, well, I mean, it's not hateful, but then he had the baby by Lauren London, and like they broke up, but they're still very close. And I was like, so he cheated. And you didn't want nobody to know. But yeah, the hotel is the Viceroy Santa Monica 162 room luxury beach hotel that has been shopped around the real estate market since August 2017. So this will be the first black owned hotel, I guess. Also, pop culture. So I made sure that Ashley watched the DJ MV Desus and Mero interaction.
I actually watched that shit twice.
Yeah, because that shit was comical. So for people who don't know, Desus and Mero got famous off of Twitter, and they blew up from them. They just have great hot takes. They're really smart. Like the way they come back and the things they say, it's like I actually learn shit by listening to their podcast because they talk about a whole bunch of shit I've never heard of. So they actually taught me a lot. But they're funny and they're spicy as fuck with their comments or whatever. So they made a comment about DJ Envy's wife, but they were joking and it was very obvious. But
it was very apparent.
It was very obvious. Like, and that's all they do. Plus, they don't even remember saying the joke because they tape 4 episodes a week.
Because it was something so irrelevant to get mad over. Like,
yeah.
I feel like DJ Envy was just like, oh, I put myself out there and I was trying to be right with my wife and y'all niggas is making fun of me. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Like, I feel like he just did that so his wife could be like, oh yeah, you stood up for me. Because it was like, he was just doing that for his wife. Like,
because like, how you mad after somebody give you an apology?
Like, at the end of the day, if your wife needs that is your wife. So do what you gotta do.
Right.
But it just seemed fugazi as fuck to me.
And then, a little unprofessional.
It was very unprofessional the way he ambushed them because they had no idea what was going on. And they were saying, why could he just call us? Because they hadn't even realized they made the comment. First of all, they thought that a comment like that would be taken as a joke.
I mean, I took it as one.
I took it as a
joke.
But
I guess I'm not married. So
I'm not married to that bitch, and I didn't cheat on her. So
right.
He cheated on her, so he got to do extras.
It was on the
reel.
The reel.
I need to watch that too. Rashawn.
I'm Rashawn at home and DJ Envy in the streets.
I don't know Rashawn. Yeah, I just remember her saying
that.
But like, he went off on Desus and Mero basically on the Breakfast Club, caught them off guard. Mind you, they're always high, so it was like very caught off guard. Then he like walks off, and then like they tape their episode right after this Breakfast Club interview, and they fire on DJ Envy. It's fucking hilarious.
It was necessary.
It was. I'm on Desus and Mero's side. Like, people are siding with DJ Envy, like, yeah, you gotta back your woman. And Mero was even saying, like, I get it. I'm married, like, you know, and one time someone called my wife a bitch, and I did some crazy shit that I can't talk about on the radio because statute of limitations. So, I mean, I get it. I mean, you know, if that was my husband, I'd be like, oh, Danny, you backed me up.
I wouldn't, because it didn't even, like, his hardness. It
kind of seemed pussy.
Yeah, like, he wasn't really hard. Like,
but if you've been with him since you're 15, you're clearly okay with his level of pussiness.
Exactly. Like, you agree with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
And he has a gun, so, you know, girls be like, oh my god, my man's holding a gun, he has a gun. She has a gun carry license too, because when they did that walkout, she went to the school to just sit outside, just make sure that nothing crazy popped off, and she brought the gun with him because her kids were like scared. Her kids wanted her daughter wanted to walk out, but was afraid that since all these kids were outside, someone was going to try to shoot, which makes sense.
Yeah,
you know, because
I mean, then why didn't she just let her kids stay home?
Her daughter wanted to participate. Like, DJ Envy said, do what you want to do because I understand how you feel about this. So she wanted to participate, and so the mom didn't do anything. She literally just like any other parent who sits outside of the school, she just had a gun with her. That's just in case I'm so afraid of guns.
Yeah, that's real dangerous. Because like people, I feel like half the time when people get shot, it's because the person holding the gun panics, and then they do something, and then they're like, oh fuck, like
that just happened. You know, a teacher who
was trained injured a student. I seen another meme of like how a substitute teacher was body slamming a student, and they were like, okay, we got teachers body slamming students, and we trying to get them guns. Like,
no,
that shit don't add up. Like, there's racist teachers out here. There's teachers that specifically target black people.
They're gonna accidentally shoot the student they don't like.
Accident in quotes, like, my nigga, it's not gonna be an accident. It's gonna be an accident when the cops come, but it's not gonna be an accident when it actually happens.
And if the government can afford to give metal detectors and security guards at these ghetto high schools, why don't you rich high schools and high schools that aren't doing as bad as these ghetto schools get armed security and metal detectors?
Yeah, how about that?
Like, somehow you're treating all the kids, and that's the thing, it's a mentality thing too, because in the hood all these people are being treated like they're in prison, but in these rich areas, even the high school we went to, which is just an open floor plan, like the shit was outside.
Like,
our school was
no
outside.
Gates, bro.
Yeah, like remember that was that one big gate in the front. There was gates.
There was a gate in the front.
It was so hard to get in because I remember I tried to get.
They had security guards at all the gates too. Yeah, because even if you were trying to leave, they would follow you in the golf cart. Like, where the fuck do you think you're going?
You're not leaving for lunch, because people leave for lunch and never come back. I still left for lunch and sometimes didn't come back, but
shit, oh well.
But
high school's a joke.
Yeah, like, so it's just so dumb. Like, it's really, really dumb.
You are so dumb. But Trump is stupid. Did you hear about how, like, one of the guys on his team found out he was fired via Twitter?
Oh yeah,
you know how mad
that FBI dude. That's so trash.
Like, I'm an adult and I got fired via Twitter.
On
Twitter, bro.
I found out on Twitter, and they said like I think he was on his way to work or something.
He was working.
Oh yeah,
he was overseas working.
He was at work.
At work
when he found out on Twitter.
And
then someone had to come talk to him, and he had to pack his shit.
I would have burned all that shit.
He really
I don't give a fuck what I was working on.
That's how after I left my last job, that's how they did everyone else. Like, they fucking, yeah. I'm like, that's how they did everyone else, because they, oh shit, an email went through like, oh, this happened, we're having to let people go. Mind you, they hadn't let anyone go yet. So once the email came through, all of the top staff was like, we need to round all of these people up in a room and fire them right now.
What?
So that's what happened. An email went out and everybody was like, wait, who are they talking about? And then they started saying, you come to this room, you come to this room, you come to the, and like 50 people in a room said, sorry, we have to lay all of you guys off right now. My last job was a shithole.
Whoa.
Like, oh my God. I don't ever want to work for a small company ever again unless I have like real stake in it. Because fuck no. Like, you guys.
But the thing is, when you work for a big one, they try to control so many aspects of your life. Like, they want you to do, like, if you get paid a salary, they want you to do your on the clock work, and then if it falls over, oh yeah, just stay longer hours for no more extra money. They don't pay you like extra for it. Yeah, you don't get extra money for that.
Yeah, we tangented from Desus and Mero, but my point is simple because it's gone viral. I'm like, Desus and Mero were in the right, and they clearly didn't give a fuck about burning that bridge. That's why they did that episode of Desus and Mero. Like, no, you treated us disrespectful, we're gonna disrespect you. And he was like, oh, I wish I had that energy in the studio. Well, first of all, DJ Envy, you walked out.
Yeah, they
were trying to talk about their shit, which they never even got to get to while you were in the room, because you called them dickhead and pussy, which is so fucking retarded. Like, but yeah, so this is the last topic that I had. Okay, so you notice how like people from high school, how we talked about the popular people in high school and the I'm so popular and I have all the clothes, always end up being like burnouts after. And then all the there was actually a phrase that Charlamagne and someone else said. It was like, the popular people and the nerds switch after high school.
Oh, definitely.
And I was like, that's definitely true. But now I'm thinking about, we're in this era of everyone buying all these material things that they can't afford, and like, like just doing terrible. And I'm like, what if I think it's gonna happen again?
Oh, I feel like with age that happens, because at a certain age you do want all that shit, and you do want to have the clout, and so like you really go out your way and out your budget to look a certain way, to dress a certain way, to go to the club every night, to be like, God, oh yeah, I could afford a table, but can you afford a table? Like, because Cardi B, I just watched a video on her, I don't know where it was from actually, but I watched it, and she was like, yeah, I remember she said that she would set certain goals for herself, and it'd be certain monetary goals. Like, she would say she would want this much money put away, and she wouldn't stop working until she had it. And she said that at one point, like, she was like 22 and she had bought her own place, and she had like all these designer bags and all these designer shoes, and she was like, but my savings account was nowhere. Like, that shit was non-existent. She was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I need to get my savings account up. And so she's like, yeah, I made a plan to start getting this amount of money. And like, she was like, yeah, God, he just surprised me and surpassed all my expectations that I had. And like, she's like, now I got a whole lot more than what I originally wanted.
Yeah.
So it's like, there are certain people that will understand having all this materialistic shit isn't worth it, like you and I. And because, like, I have been fighting with myself to buy a Louis bag for the longest, and I still ain't bought it yet. Like, if I have to think about purchasing it, I don't need it. Unless it's like something something that's gonna be beneficial to me, like my computer. I needed my computer. But like, I don't need a Louis bag. Right. Like, I just don't. What do I need it for?
Exactly. Because I'm the same way. I'm like, this is expensive, this fucking computer.
This bag this fucking computer is a Louis bag.
Yeah, this computer is the same price as a fucking Louis bag with Apple Care. This shit is the same price. So it's like, and that's the thing, I was in class, like, my fucking shit wasn't opening, and I was like, wow, my computer is a piece of shit. Like, it got to the point where I'm like, fuck it, I'm so happy now because my shit is just gonna open. It just feels so good. I'm just gonna be typing. Like, yeah, that's the same thing. It's like all these material things. I think it's gonna switch to where, like, it's not gonna be like popular and nerds. It's gonna be something different. It's gonna be all the people who
clout and
material
clout
things
versus bank account, nigga.
But it's gonna be followers, all the people who are like banking on all their followers, people who are banking on all the material things, people who are
what if
getting cars they can't afford, like getting Louis bags that they can't afford, trying to be that bitch online. But it's like your savings account is dry.
Other than Fashion Nova, because my budget is definitely Fashion Nova.
I got a Fashion Nova budget.
Not ashamed of that at all.
Shit, Fashion Nova's popping. I'm wearing Fashion Nova
right now. You will
not
see me in Gucci.
Okay. I mean, when I hit 30, maybe. But
yeah,
no.
maybe I'll have a few Gucci items. Yeah. But at this point in my life, no.
I give myself till 30. Like, I want to have a net worth of $1 million by the time I'm 30. So I'm like, 30, yeah.
I mean, that's very doable.
But like, to hear, like, I had a friend who boyfriend wanted a Gucci belt for Christmas, and she put it on a layaway plan. She can't even afford it. She was like, I have to do a payment plan because I can't afford to get him. Why the fuck are you getting this nigga a Gucci belt?
I love that my boyfriend's frugal. I tried to buy him a Louis. No, what was I trying to buy him? It was either like I was trying to buy him Louis or what's the birthday shirt? Burberry. I was trying to buy him Burberry. And he was like, yeah, no. He was like, I don't need that. Yeah. I was going to buy him a Burberry shirt, or I was going to get him a Louis belt. And he was just like, no. Yeah, he was like, you can spend that on other stuff.
It's way too expensive.
So shout out to Bae for being frugal.
Yeah. And I think it's going to transform to all the people who have all the clout and have all the material things. Like 80% of social media is fake, all the shit that people have. So I'm like, when we hit that next stage, it's going to be like all those people spent all of their money on material shit and didn't have no savings, and then people forget the financial crisis is gonna come back.
Yeah,
and it's like
you'll have no assets.
So many people are gonna lose their jobs, God forbid, but like who's gonna be able to take care of themselves when they lose their job? Like, who's gonna have the savings account that's like, hey, go on vacation? There's some people who lose a job and they have so much money that they go on vacation.
Oh, I was thinking about doing that. Like, I was like, maybe I could quit my job after the mission trip and take all of December off. Like,
oh my God, that would be amazing.
Have the entire month of December off.
I'm like,
I'm trying to go Hawaii for New Year's.
Oh my God, I want to go to Hawaii so bad. I just feel like this year is for me, this year is the beginning of like really traveling. Like we've traveled before, but this is the year of like for real. Yeah. And so since this is the beginning, I want next year to be the year of like, nigga, I just got money and I'm just going here and there and there and here. Like that's, and I'm not trying to do it for social media. It's because I've wanted to go to Hawaii. I want to go to Jamaica for forever. I want to get married in Jamaica. I've been wanting to go to Hawaii for forever, like places like that. And then it's like, I know we're going to London, so we're going to try to touch, but if we can't touch Spain, I've been wanting to go to Spain for fucking ever.
I don't think we have enough time.
Yeah, I don't think, and Spain is like low-key far, but Amsterdam is really close, only an hour flight.
Close.
But yeah, so I think I'm just like, it's kind of weird because I'm like, that's why when people say like, oh, I don't want to be 30, I'm old, 25-year-old.
I'm trying to be 30.
I be saying I look forward to 30. I'm not rushing to it because, you know, time is closer to death.
Have
but
my money
I'm
at 30.
I'm not going to be in school no more.
Oh, hell no.
I'm going to have all my CFA licensures. I'm going to be fucking done. I'm going to have a lot of, not God forbid, but God willing, I'm gonna have a lot of managerial experience.
Find it.
Yeah. I'm like, God willing, I'm gonna have a lot of managerial. I look forward to being 30, and it's interesting looking at all these 30-year-olds that I know that ain't got shit.
Yeah, it's a sad world out here, guys.
Man,
I just pray for some of y'all. Some of y'all I talk shit about, but for the most part, I just pray for my family and be happy that I'm in the position that I'm in. Like, yeah, I may have a lot of bills, but I can afford them.
Yeah, and that's a blessing. So.
And that's a real blessing. Like, you could afford your bills. Like, yeah, I might have a lot, but can I pay it? Yeah.
That ties back to the theme of our podcast, because it's like people get successful in different ways, and our level of success is like, even though we're not where we want to be,
like I'm not rich,
we're in a place where it's like, you know, me, I'm waiting for the housing bubble to pop so I can get a house. You know, we're in the place to where we can do these type of things, and like, this is the shit I do now. I swear to God, I did not imagine that I would be able to do that when I was younger.
And it's been only like 2 years. That's a fast amount of time. Like,
right?
Because I remember I got my taxes done. He was like, yeah, the only difference is you made a lot more money.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, you're right, man. Yeah. And I'm feeling it when I look at the deductions on my check. Like, man. But it's just like, I was like, this week I already told y'all I was going through it. So my boyfriend was like, yeah, we have rich people problems. I was like, you fucking right.
That is true.
It's really rich people problems when you think about the problems you have. Like, it doesn't make your experience invalid, but it's just like a different level of problems. It's not the poverty problems.
Yeah, it's not like scrapping up coins to get a meal. It's just like scrapping up coins to get a brand new Mac.
Yeah. Yeah, like levels.
Levels.
Ascending.
It's levels to this shit. Strapping up coins to get my fucking maintenance on my car. Like, it was less than I expected, but the feeling of putting your debit card to pay for it
instead of a credit card, like, oh no, fam, I got it.
I'm like, so things are changing. Things is changing.
Looking up.
Okay. God,
that credit card stayed in that wallet. Like, thank you.
I love God. Remember that video? I forgot what she said. I love God. That's God. And like, we reference God a lot in our normal lives. Sometimes on the podcast, obviously we have a look at God statement, but it's like, we really be like, this is God.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who gave you what you got.
Right.
But
because God for sure told me I should have had my work equipment in my bag, and I was like, yeah, nah, it's okay. And then as soon as I got halfway to where I was going, I had to go to work. I was like, fuck. Like, why didn't I listen?
Yeah, like, God be speaking. It's just, will you listen?
Yeah, that's the real problem.
If you have a whole bunch of material shit and you're having to get a layaway plan to buy it, God is talking to you.
He is. He's telling you, bitch, you broke.
You just ain't listening. You just ain't fucking listening.
You hard-headed ass motherfucker.
You hard-headed ass nigga.
Look how your mom be mad at you. But your hard-headed ass. Didn't I fucking tell you not to do that?
I always wonder how I'm going to talk to my kids. I
Me
think that
too.
I won't, like, my household, like, just how my parents raised us, like,
Yeah,
there will be no cussing in my household. Like,
oh,
but
shit.
yeah,
I can't come over.
Like, yeah, if you cuss around my kids, I will say do not cuss around them in front of them. Yeah, because I'm like, nah. Because if I just look at all the kids in high school and how they turned out, and then I look at how they were raised, and I'm like, there's things I'm learning from my parents not to do also.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's certain things that I'm just like, no. But I think when my kids grow up and I get really pissed, I'm probably going to cuss at them.
Oh, that's when we were growing up. We knew my mom was really mad when she cussed at us. Like,
yeah.
You could get in trouble and be like, yeah, whatever. But the moment my mom said a cuss word to you, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You start crying the moment that word
like, man,
leaves her
I'm
mouth.
about to get my ass beat.
Yeah, like, like you're really in trouble.
Yeah.
So I understand that. It's just like I still have maturing to do before I have kids anyway. So
oh my god, I have so much maturing to do.
Me too. Maybe I can stop cussing by then.
Plus, it's like I always think, I was telling my friend, I was like, dang, I don't know. I was like, I might be single forever. And I tell him I don't try not to say it because my mom was like, don't say stuff, you make it happen. But I'm just like, the options are so slim. So I'm also thinking that I'm like, I probably won't get married. Because the thing is, when I meet a guy who's interested, as soon as I tell him what I'm doing with my life, I got him. Like, he's there, like, he's locked down. But it's just like, it's usually because
I like you.
It's
like, do I like you enough?
It's usually because they're fascinated because they ain't shit. And it's like, I want someone who it's like,
maybe that's your type. I mean,
no, fuck no. Fuck no. That's my head type.
Maybe God trying to talk to you like, look, bitch.
No. I'm not finna ruin my life for no nigga.
Like, bitch, you gotta be the breadwinner, okay?
I ain't finna ruin my life for nah nigga. Like I said, I'll have a kid on my own if I reach a certain age. Because I'm like, I'm not finna.
Yeah, I'm just never trying to take care of kids.
I'm not finna. I don't have no problem being the breadwinner, but my nigga still needs to be making enough money to pay for, like, basic shit.
Like pay the utilities.
Yeah, like if you're paying
the mortgage,
I'll pay the mortgage because my name is on it. It's great for my fucking credit.
Yeah,
but it's like,
I don't mind.
You buy the groceries, you pay whatever utilities, like you pay that type of shit. I'm cool with it. But it's like ancient nigga or a nigga who's just dreaming. Like, I'm like, I can't do it with all these dreaming things. There's a lot of niggas in their 30s still dreaming. I'm like, you can dream, but nigga, work.
Yeah, exactly. Just have a day job.
Yeah, but
be able to pay the bills.
I think I'll finally like realize someone's the one when it's like they have accolades and I'm not the only one that has accolades. Like when they can be like, oh yeah, I have my degree from here. Like, mind you, I always say I don't date niggas without degrees. So it's like I want them to have a degree from here. Like, oh, and I've done this.
But what if there's a nigga with accolades that didn't go to?
Because remember, I always say like,
there's those people. That
I always say those people like, I'll date a guy without a degree, but he has to have shown that there's a reason why this nigga doesn't. But
what if
you
like shut him down right away the moment he's like, yeah, I didn't go to college?
No, because that happens every day. I still talk to these, yeah. Because it's
happened.
Yeah. Oh, millions of times, like millions of times. Almost every nigga I talk to doesn't have a degree, and not talk to, I mean like speak. No, we're not talking. But every nigga I meet, we'll find out about our shit, and I'll be like, oh, you don't have a degree. Let me find out a little bit more about you to see if that degree. And then they tell me all the shit about them, and I'm like, oh, so you ain't shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no. Yeah. I'll never not speak to a guy right after he says he doesn't have a degree. But if you tell me you don't have a degree and you don't have a car and you don't have a place and you don't have a job, that's probably the last text messages you're gonna receive from me.
And look, that's unacceptable for women too.
Yeah.
That shit's just not for men. That shit is unacceptable both ways.
Yeah. Like I'm not.
We're not one-sided.
This is probably a good time for a commercial break. Hey, so I just want to interrupt the episode really quick to talk about a Black Business of the Week. A couple episodes ago, Ashley actually talked about the nail technician that she went to. And now I'm actually going to talk about the brow technician I went to at that same establishment. She does eyebrow waxing, which I usually get threading, but this wax was necessary. She doesn't destroy your eyebrows. And for all the girls that thin their eyebrows out after high school and they're like, oh my God, I need to grow my eyebrows back, this is who you go to. She specializes in growing your eyebrows back. She does microblading, and she even does temporary tint. Like, guys, I grew my eyebrows out for 3 months, didn't get them threaded or anything, let them grow out to their original thickness, like their original width. And I went to her and my eyebrows look fucking amazing. It was a great treatment. Her name is Elise and her business is at Girl House Beauty Bar. So if you want to make an appointment with them, first of all, if you want to hit her up on Instagram and ask her any questions, her Instagram is ELYMARIE, Ellie Marie. She's a poppin' esthetician. And their link is girlhousebb.acuityscheduling.com. We'll obviously have that in our description. They're in Altadena, California. Sorry for you guys who are not in California. But if you do want references to brow bars that are not in California, I'd be willing to help you out. Just let me know. Or if you visit California, just come see her. So for the girls trying to grow those eyebrows back, sick of having those thin bitches. I said that because in high school someone called my brows thick bitches before she threaded them and made them skinny as shit. Oh, damn. Yeah, so I'm like, if you want to get away from those thin bitches and get back to the thick bitches, you need to go to Elise, and we'll have that in the description. Now back to our conversation.
All right, guys. So we wanted to get into some fan questions. I guess we could call them fans. I guess we got fans. I don't know. But we have
fans
some
and friends.
Yeah, fans, friends, followers, whatever you want to call
supporters.
It. We have some questions from y'all.
Yeah, we wanted to answer some of them. You want to go first?
Mine's like kind of a more serious one. A friend of mine said that you have great financial advice, so he wanted to ask, like,
oh, about me?
Yeah, you.
Oh shit,
you the finance major, my nigga. I'm not.
Oh,
he wanted to know what kind of bank account to choose and what is one of the best banks to choose, like what bank to choose. And like, I don't know.
I mean, we've covered that on one of them. Synchrony is a bank. It's just the savings account is online. You know, they don't have a walk-in bank. I feel like when it comes for savings accounts,
it's raining.
It is raining, which is weird because we're in California.
Fuck, I wear slides.
California doesn't rain. Damn. But yeah. So when it comes to a savings account, first of all, you shouldn't even be touching your savings account.
Yeah, and so I think that's why it's good to have an online one, because it's harder to transfer the money from that to your actual bank account. You have to wait like a processing time for it to go to your bank account. And I've heard other people say, like, when they save money, it's best to put it somewhere you can't touch it. And exactly. I feel like online place is best, or putting in like an Acorns app.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, Acorns is a great option.
Yeah, you can even put it like in a bond, like Nina has mentioned before. So yeah, that was the question.
There's ways to put it. When it comes to bank accounts like checkings, I've only had Wells Fargo. I genuinely don't see a big difference between Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America when it comes to checkings. And maybe when you're in a tax bracket that's really high, it makes a difference. But for all of the people our age, we're in a basic ass tax bracket.
I haven't ascended there yet.
Yeah, we haven't ascended. We're not vibrating on that level yet. Nah. So it's like, I think any bank is cool, but there are promos for like, oh, if you deposit $1,500, we'll give you an extra $300 if you keep the money in the account for the next 6 months. Like, you guys have probably seen those promos. Obviously, those are cool things to do because you're just making free money. Obviously, you don't hop from bank to bank because that's pointless. It's a waste of time.
And there's balance transfers. Like if you have a credit card and that balance is real fucking crazy, you could transfer it to another credit card and have 0% APR for 12 months. So you could pay that shit off without getting interest on it. if you pay it off within a year.
If you're aware that you're going to be able to pay it off, that's also a good offer, because I've been getting those offers and I'm like,
I might do it.
Well, some of them I'm like, I ain't finna pay that shit back. I'm in school right now, you know, like, so you might trap me and then start paying me
and have that interest rate be real crazy.
Yeah, but when it comes to credit cards, obviously, first of all, everywhere I go is asking me, oh, well, you can apply for a credit card.
I don't need a Forever 21 credit card.
I don't need a Banana Republic credit card.
Or a Gap.
Or fucking this shit for this laptop that she tried to do.
Financing. Like, so when you finance a Mac, you have to, like, get a card.
You have to get a card.
You have to apply for a credit card.
I said, girl, I have 3 credit cards. I'm going to put it on one of them. Like, girl, I'm not. I said I'm trying to perfect my, and that's the thing, you guys might, when you're growing up, one thing you might do is get a credit card because you're getting offered free money, but you get a hit on your credit score.
And it could bite you in the ass.
It can bite you in the ass, especially if you can't pay that shit back. Don't get a credit card you can't pay back, one.
Jesus,
but
no.
When all these people are like, oh, well, you can do a payment plan if you sign up for this, that all of that shit fucks up your credit. Don't do it. Just don't buy it.
Anytime it's a payment plan, it fucks with your credit.
And every time, because there's an inquiry.
Even for a cell phone.
They're called hard inquiries. So hard inquiries change your credit. Soft inquiries are things that happen without you even noticing, and they don't fuck up your credit. But those hard ones are when people are like, hey, if you just apply for this, don't fucking do it. You. But for the people who can't afford credit cards right now, the credit cards that I'm in love with right now is I have Costco, so I get all my gas at Costco. So for all y'all that get gas at Costco, their credit card is pretty cool. The points that you get is like, you get 4% on Costco shit, 3% on travel, 2% on restaurants, and 1% on everything else. And so, yeah, I'm getting points off of getting gas from Costco. And like, I did put a couple of trips that we just, like, I think I put some in New York on that card or whatever. But it's like, so that's cool. And then you get a rebate at the end of the year. So I walked into Costco and they gave me like a little over $100 cash. You know, that's cool.
That's worth it.
But I do like the Costco card. It's Citibank, because if you buy a flight with it or if you get a hotel with it, you get free insurance. So the flight gives you full insurance. So even if you die, it pays your life insurance. Yeah. It's like they pay for all. It's good though, you know, because then your family doesn't have to struggle, and they pay a lot of life insurance. It's like over $60,000 of life insurance. Even if you get in an accident, a plane accident, and you lose like a finger, they pay like, you know, for that, you know, they pay for any insurance.
They pay to get that shit stitched back on.
Yeah, and if you miss your flight, like they cover I mean, not miss your flight, if the flight shit fucks up and you get there and you're like, what the fuck, they handle that. They also, hotels, they handle something with hotels, I forgot. I think it's just insurance too, because shit can happen at a hotel. Also with rental cars, they pay for your insurance for your rental car through Costco, because a Costco credit card means you have a Costco card. And so they'll pay for your car insurance. And you get an extra driver for free. So you don't have to worry about paying that extra driver
fee
free
per day.
Yeah, so that's what I love about Citibank. The Venture card is great for flying. Mind you, you should only have a credit card if you can afford to pay it back. So you're going to spend money on that credit card, but then they're going to give you points. So I paid for my flight to London with that credit card because I had so many flight miles. And I just, like, recently I was like, I just have these miles for no reason. So I just literally just put them in, like, hey, give me $300, you know, like,
yeah, cash me out.
Yeah, like, basically cash me out, it just brought my balance down. That's all. I was just like, instead of paying,
I'd rather
drop it, because I'm not using it for any travels anytime soon. All my next travels are already paid for the most part. And so, yeah, so we covered checkings accounts, we covered savings accounts, we covered credit cards, and we covered credit inquiries. So hopefully that helps, friend.
I know. Hopefully you listen now.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
That's
all questions are good questions. Okay.
This is interesting because this is something we're actually struggling with. One of my friends, Andrea, from my last job, she said, what do you do from getting burnt out during the work week? I feel like I'm dying at work, and I don't remember how I used to go so long without burning out. One, we're getting older, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah,
because you start noticing.
I feel like I'm burnt out almost every week, unless I actually go to sleep on time. Like, honestly, that shit's key. Like, you really need to go to sleep on time. Like, I've been trying to train myself. I fell off this week because I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I'm not going to let this job get in the way of living my life. But that also leads to me being very tired. But I have been training myself that once my body touches my bed and I'm under the covers, my phone is off. I don't sit up on my phone on Instagram. I'm not on Tumblr. I'm not texting nobody. I'm not talking on the phone to my boyfriend, anything. Like, once I'm in the bed, I'm in the bed. And I kid you not, like, I get better sleep, like they say you will.
Yeah.
and I feel better at work.
I see that.
You
know what I've been noticing is because last week I told you I was like, I need to stay home. I just need to not travel. So I stayed home. I slept so much, like a lot. Even yesterday I slept a lot just because like my workload for the next week is like I have 2 quizzes, but it's like you know, like light compared to what I usually have due. And so I slept a lot, but what I'm noticing is I'm still exhausted. And you know why? It's my mental. My mental is tired. And one thing I don't know how to do, like for tiredness, you guys go to fucking sleep. Do what Ashley said. Put your phone away. Get your sleep in. Get them hours in.
With the TV on.
Well, yeah. I actually have issues.
I know you do. Yeah.
I'm like,
you gotta get a nightlight.
I know it's like
keeps you up.
It's almost like it's a long story behind why I have the TV on, but it's like it's almost as if like you're not alone in your room, because my room when I stay with my parents is big as fuck, and
so it's dark.
And I've lived in this room since I was 6, and I used to see things in here, and so you know my puppy makes it a little easier and shit. But yeah, the hard part that I'm gonna have to learn about is how to get the mental tiredness, and I've kind of given up almost to where I'm like, oh, when I graduate. You know?
Yeah, it's like I feel like you can't think like that. It's like you have to learn how to like compartmentalize things and put different things in different boxes mentally. And the moment like you start being able to put things out of your mind mentally, I feel like it frees up space, and like your brain's not working as hard trying to like think about all these things simultaneously. And like that also falls into the fact that like we have fucking anxiety. Like it's hard to stop thinking about shit sometimes. Like you can't stop thinking about shit. Like so I sometimes like I'll literally just take time off work, and I know that's impossible for people. Like I hear about people's struggles when they have work, and it's like, yeah, I can't take time off because if I take time off I won't get paid.
Right.
Like, yeah, that fucking sucks. Like,
I actually need the money.
Yeah. And like I'm like, thankfully I don't have to worry about that, but I just really unplug and reset. Like you have to unplug and reset, and like that could even mean like getting off social media without making an announcement. Like people love to do these days. Like if you're gonna be off Instagram for a while, be off motherfucker. Like I'll see you when you get back.
No one notices when you're gone. I was literally off Instagram for over a year. Mind you, I was going on Instagram because it was entertaining. So I still was going on Instagram. I didn't post anything for over a year because I wasn't on it. I was just using it for entertainment because people realize Instagram is almost like TV nowadays. And so it's like the announcement shit is really weird. Like, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna
like, why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
Like, cause really, like, cause they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be gone for this amount of time. If you need me, hit my cell. If people really cared about you and they really wanted to know about you and how you was doing, they was already hit you. They was gonna hit you without you making this announcement. So like, it's kind of stupid.
Nobody's gonna be like, oh, I mean, your friends are gonna ask you. Your friends are gonna ask you, why the fuck did you delete your Instagram? But just them. Like nobody else. Like nobody else is
gonna care.
Yeah, I don't. People are so connected to the internet.
Yeah, that shit. It's not the real.
You know what I'm wondering is like how the internet, because the internet's obviously affecting society. Like it's very clear. I'm wondering if, just like we talked about, like successful people, I'm not successful people who buy material things now versus us who are like trying to be good with our money, even though it's like, you know, we're young.
Yeah, I make stupid decisions.
Yeah, it's like, you know, we're young, we do things. But I'm wondering if it's gonna be the same thing, like those people who are like so on the social media, like, well, because things always change.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we'll switch back to having interactions face to face as much as we do.
Yeah,
like as much as we used to. I don't see that switching back.
There'll just be like a transformation.
Yeah, because there are some people that really don't know how to interact outside of the internet, and like I have encountered one of those people where it's like, you're real different in real life. Like,
yeah,
why are you like this?
I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, and it's weird now because like on the internet, like you're this cool person that has all this conversation, but then in like real life, you this weird ass motherfucker like that doesn't say anything. Like, I don't know how to take that.
Yeah.
I just don't.
It's really fucking up people's social skills really bad.
And like mine already suffered just because I don't like talking to people.
Exactly.
But it's like I know how, and like part of my job is communicating. So it's like I better fucking know how.
Yeah. I need to work on that because I am really like, just like I was telling you earlier, I was like, white people are so uncomfortable around black people that it's now getting on my nerves. Like, you guys are the shitholes. Like, you guys are the shitty ones. What the fuck are you stressed out about me for? Like,
repercussions.
You know, it's just like, I'm annoyed with how white people are so intimidated. You know, like,
I just like, sometimes I just want to know, like, how do I look when I'm approaching you for you to have this look on your face,
big and black,
you know?
Big and black.
Like, I just want to know.
It's just like the social skills. There's so many things about people that have fucked up my social skills, because I'm like, I just don't want to, like, I just don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I have a friend, the same friend, who, like, literally again this week, like, 2 of his friends came over. We were studying. Both of us were on our computer just like working. He had some shit done. I had a quiz the next day. So we were just studying. And he was like, oh, 2 of my friends are coming. I actually didn't remember they were coming, but they're coming. And then when they came, he like ran out the room. He was like, come socialize. And I'm like,
no, I got stuff to do.
I socialized with them, but it's just like, I'm realizing, like, it's just not me. Yeah. Like, it's just, yeah. And there's people who can have really disingenuous conversations for long periods of time. I can't do it.
My brain, I will literally get a headache.
I know we tangented off of being like burnt out, but this ties into being burnt out, because like I said, my body isn't tired. I know it's not, but my head, actually, I feel like a film of like, like I feel tiredness. I feel a shield of tiredness on my brain, literally on my brain. It's almost like them looming headaches that are far away, but you can tell they're coming. Yeah, that's what I have.
Like when you get period cramps in the beginning of the week, right? And Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe
that foreshadow.
Maybe I'm dehydrated, or I'm mentally tired. Like, so
most of the time I'm both. I'm dehydrated and mentally tired.
I really want to hear from people, like, why. I'll probably put that on our Twitter. Like, how do you guys recover from the burnout? In life, you're always going to have people that don't see your vision or your potential. What would you suggest to those people that are feeling like no one believes in them?
Get new friends.
Right? Get a new circle.
Part of it, get new friends.
Yeah.
Learn who you are. Be confident in yourself,
and that takes work.
It does take work, and it usually takes like a tragedy or a heartbreak, but it takes fucking work.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
Like, because it's like you have that shit happen, and it's an automatic reset. Like, oh shit, I need to reevaluate all my life decisions right now at this moment. And you literally, that's what it takes. Like, I'm not saying something bad has to happen, but that's usually how shit go.
Yeah. And when you said like your circle, that's a huge part. Like, your circle will literally put you down and make you think that you shouldn't be shit. And it's like, that's when you need to leave that circle. Yeah. And a lot of people have difficulties with being alone, but it makes a tremendous difference when you don't have people telling you that you ain't shit.
And when you learn to enjoy being alone, you start liking it too much.
Wow.
Too much.
Yeah. But the thing is, I started to enjoy being alone, but then I was like, if I'm alone, I can sleep. Yeah. And so you need to make sure that you're not spending all your
thing for other people.
Make sure you don't spend all your time alone sleeping, because that will melt into depression real quick. You have to really watch that, because it can turn into depression. Sleeping a lot can turn into depression. People think depressed people sleep a lot. Nah. If you sleep a lot, you can make yourself depressed, because you ain't doing shit. And doing shit is I look at it as like doing shit is God's work. So it's like, stay busy.
Depending on what you're doing. Like, if you out there being a D-boy, go the fuck to sleep. Get depression.
Go to bed, my nigga.
Get sad.
You said get depression.
Get sad, bro.
Oh, my God.
You can't be out here ruining lives and shit.
This question was just funny. This is from one of my good friends. He said, if the earth is flat, does the water not drain? If there's a dome, why is it clean with pollution? If it's not round, why can we end up in the same place after traveling in one direction? I just like that question, because there are some people who are so fucking stupid.
Believe it. I have had arguments with people about this shit.
Like, I'm really gonna cuss you out.
Of centripetal force, bro? Probably not, because you're ignorant. You probably never took physics.
Dumb. How is the earth flat? How?
I don't know.
Why haven't we heard any stories? Not a single story about a person falling off.
Right.
No, not one. It's not in the news.
Nigga, walk in one direction and tell me when you get to the edge.
You fucking dumb fuck.
Just do that for me.
Oh my God. And it's like, the crazy thing is the celebrities that say that shit, because it's like, ain't y'all flown to every fucking country? Can't y'all tell that shit ain't flat? Like, that's just
somebody's
so
reasoning for
dumb.
The earth being flat is like, have you looked at flight patterns and how much they don't make sense? I was just like,
What? They make perfect sense. That's why no one's running into each other in the sky.
They have to stop to get gas sometimes.
Nigga,
you know?
like, remember how our plane, that shit had to go all the way around? We were right on top of the airport. That shit had to do a whole bunch of shit because it was in the way.
We did a whole loop.
Nigga, it makes sense. It don't make sense because you didn't go to school for that. What are you talking about?
And then what else did he say?
Oh, my God.
He said flight patterns. And then I asked him, like, have you ever been on a plane? I was like, what's the farthest you've ever flown? And he was just like, oh, across the U.S. I was like, oh, so you're not a cultured individual. Okay. It makes sense. Like, I get it.
You're not a cultured individual.
Yeah.
That's hilarious because that's true.
Yeah, it's like you haven't experienced the world. Like, not saying that from a plane you can see the earth is curved, but it's just like, I feel like, I don't know, there's just a little indication when you're in a plane flying from one side of the globe to the other. And then what did he say? Why do you always fly in one direction to this country and not the other way? And it's like the earth is turning.
The earth is moving, my nigga.
You gotta play catch up.
Do you want to take a 5-hour flight or a 10-hour flight? Like the earth rotates on an axis.
Yeah,
we learned this.
Have you not seen the tides?
Like, I know the history books and the science, well, not science, but mostly history books lie to us a lot. But it's like
science is pretty legit.
Science is pretty solid. They usually
legit.
They don't publish shit because they publish shit because they found that the shit is true at like a low error.
I just want to know if the earth is flat, how is gravity working? Because there has to be a center of gravity.
That's what my friend said. If the earth is flat, why isn't all the water draining off?
How is the ocean replenishing?
You think rain is doing it? Like, people are so dumb. I'm sorry. If you believe the earth is flat, I'm not even apologizing to you because you're dumb.
Stupid as fuck.
You're dumb.
You're stupid as fuck.
And I don't got time for it.
At the end of the day, that's just how we feel. And I don't think it's ever going to change.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wonder who raised you.
Right. That's a fundamental question. Who raised you? And what happened to them in their childhood that made them such a terrible parent? Okay, that was my last question.
Okay, cool. Because I was going to say we should do Look at God and then be about this heezy, faux sheezy.
I'm going to do we have Look at Gods from people who wrote into our survey a long time ago. And I wanted to shout out some of the Look at Gods. Someone says they have a lot to be thankful for. My job, paying off student loans, and evolving every day.
Shout out to you.
Another person wrote, giving me the courage to reapply to medical school. I hope you got in. But even if you didn't get in, that's God's plan. Someone else said, look at God, I'm thankful for everything. Someone else says, my faith guides me every day and gives me hope for the future. And ain't that the truth?
There's one person that said nothing. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, like, it's like they're probably I see you universe people,
right?
But it's
we didn't have that name at the time.
I know, so that's very true.
If you want to feel included, you could resubmit at Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com.
Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com.
Oh, I want to shout out this one because we was just talking about this. Mm-hmm. He saved my life from an abusive relationship. He shows me favor daily, especially when I don't think or feel highly of myself.
That's God.
Get out that abuse, guys.
Yeah. Someone said, I'll let y'all know when I get a wife. Other than that, God is always blessing me. I just need to stop playing in his blessings and power up to higher heights. I think that's a powerful statement. We all need to stop playing in his blessings because God is really out here blessing us, or the universe is really out here doing well for us.
Like, for you.
When you're positive, your vibrations are positive vibrations, So, you get what you give. And yes, bad things happen, but that's the devil just trying to trick you. That's all.
Another one that's a good one is from the Booty Scholar on Tumblr. It says,
Booty Scholar?
Yeah. Though I deal with depression on a regular basis, I'm grateful to have real, true friends that help me and encourage me even through my depression. That's love. I truly feel they are God-given people, and that's love. Like, people that stick around when you're depressed, that's hard. Because sometimes, like, you do some crazy shit when you're depressed, or it's just like, you're not hanging out with people, you're distant, you're reclusive, and people think it's like, oh, you don't fuck with me no more. It's like, it takes a very mature individual to understand, like, my mental's fucked. Like, I just need this time away from myself. So, like, I'm so happy you have good friends.
Yeah, that's very fundamental. Like, and we're young, we're 25. So something that 2017 and the years prior taught me was just like, you're gonna just become more and more centered. And that's just how I feel about myself. Everyone else has their own experience, but I'm like, the experiences that I go through will make me more and more centered, and I appreciate how centered it's made me so far. So even though I'm not perfectly centered, I have something to look forward to, because you start realizing what's real and what's fake, you know?
I just can't wait to feel like at peace. Like, because I feel like I always have this looming anxiety, looming stress.
It's financial stress, and that's the middle class.
Really a lot of it. And I just can't wait to like just be at peace, like just to be able to be like, oh yeah, I'm relaxing and seriously mean it. It's not just like I'm relaxing, so I'm not stressing about this thing for like 10 minutes. But once I'm done relaxing, I'll be back to stressing about it.
Yeah, because I always think I'm going to stop stressing when school ends, but I'm going to be stressed that I'm waking up for work.
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
So I think, and the thing is, if you start your own business, you're going to be stressed out about your own business. So
yeah, but that's the type of stress I'm willing to have.
That's the type of stress I want.
I'm willing to have that stress. I'm not willing to stress over my job.
Or just a good position. Honestly, I was driving in the car and I was like, I just want a job where it's like, I don't have to get to work until like 10 or 11, you know?
Right, and
that would do a lot.
At 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Why I gotta work for 8 hours? Who
That's not even necessary.
We gotta work for 8 hours.
You know, you have to take 6 hours. Once you hit 6 hours, you have to take a lunch break. I know it's different at your job, but like, that's typical. Yeah, you don't get those.
What?
But I would work 11 to 5. That's 6 hours. Let me go home. I slept in, and I probably, whenever I wake up and I have class at 1, I get so much shit done in my house, just like putting shit away and stuff.
Folding my laundry.
Exactly.
The little things like making my bed.
Yeah.
Things that help me feel like I have something in order.
Those are important. So, I mean, the stresses will change, but like they say, more money, more problems.
I mean, at least I'm going to be crying in a Bentley.
Okay.
So
on that Bentley
that's
truck.
all I give a fuck about. If I'm crying in a Bentley, all my bills can be outrageous because I could afford them.
Another listener said, I defended my dissertation and I'm about to become a doctor. Thank you, God. I just like that, you know, elevating.
Right.
That's straight elevating. It's not even master's no more. That's PhD once you're a doctor. So good job for y'all. Y'all did well for yourself.
I'm proud of you.
I don't have a look at God this week, not because nothing bad happened, but just because I want to pinpoint like the people that wrote into us.
I mean, I have one, but I'm not willing to share it on here. So, I mean, it's like personal, like super personal.
Okay. I'm going to ask you right after.
Yeah, you can ask me after. I'm fine telling you. Just like not people that I know that would hate.
Sorry, y'all.
Sorry.
But yeah, just so y'all remember, find us on Apple Podcasts, Young and Getting It Podcast. You can subscribe and you can leave a review. We would love that. Also, you can find us at soundcloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. If you want to find that exact episode, all you have to do is soundcloud.com/WeAreYAGIP/ the title of the episode, no spaces in between, because I edited it to make sure it could be like that. And you know, YouTube, search Young and Getting It Podcast. Get visual interviews. When we have special guests and special things going on, we definitely record. Also, we're on Google Play, Young and Getting It Podcast, Stitcher, Young and Getting It Podcast, and Pocket Casts, Young and Getting It Podcast.
And we are also on Twitter, and I was about to say YouTube, but it's Instagram. It feels like YouTube sometimes.
Yeah.
We're under the username at YAGI_podcast. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/YAGIPOD. And we also have our website, www.weareyagi voice fucking app. I'm gonna repeat it, www.weareyagip.com. And then we also have our email, Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com. Hit us up. Let us know how you feeling. Hit us up on any of our social media platforms, any of our handles that you could leave a comment on. Leave one, because we love hearing from y'all. We love getting questions. We love getting recognition from you guys and appreciation.
Yeah, we love talking to y'all. So thank you.
I remember to look at God that I can share.
Okay.
Real quick, guys. So on Wednesday, I went to my friend's birthday dinner and I was just like chatting up with some of his friends. We were talking, whatever. They were laughing. Yay. And then out of nowhere, one of the girls goes, "You should have a podcast." And I was like,
"Really?
I do." And
that's
then
so
we all
funny.
Started screaming. And I like gave her my card and shit so that they could listen. And they listened and they subscribed. So shout out to y'all. Okay.
That's cool.
But yeah, that was one that I just remembered, so y'all wouldn't feel like I was being like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna tell y'all shit."
Yeah.
But y'all,
I love having those conversations where I'm like, "Oh, this kind of ties in the conversation that I have a podcast," and they're like, "Oh," so that's always nice.
feel like a superstar.
Thank you guys that listen every week. We notice y'all. We really do.
You.
Thank you. We'll see you next week. Next week is gonna be our Brooklyn episode if everything works out the way we hope.
Right. Be on the lookout. Bye.
Bye.